Hello, I'm Abby Meyer, and this is my facial detection software. In order to detect faces, there are multiple inputs that we needed in our algorithm. So first, of course, you need a photo and video to study. You need the prototext, which is just the defined image layers. We needed the cafe model, which is the weights of the layers, and we needed a user input confidence level. How certain do we want to be that we have a face? Now getting into the premise of how faces are detected, you'd either take an image or a frame from a video. You would blob it, so you're looking at kind of group features within that image. And then you'd go through HOG, or the history of oriented gradients. The image would then be grayed out, and then it would go through pixel by pixel and draw an arrow pointing from lighter pixels to darker pixels. Those could then be further grouped together in about 16 by 16 pixel blocks. Those would start to draw the contours of the picture and remove the implications that brightness may have on the image. Then you would compare those lines and contours with known prototext and cafe models, which are collected faces and features that we understand. And with some degree of confidence, the features that are in your image relate back to the historical collected data, then you could say you have a face detected and further go through algorithms to box out the face. Once you detected a face, there's a lot of things you can do with that, such as box a face or cover it with a black square, or even what I'm going to be talking about, which is blur it. So what you do in that case is you pick out the range of your original image that the face is on. You create another cropped image of just the face, blur that cropped image, and then overwrite onto your original image, pixel by pixel, what your blurred cropped image is. Now to discuss the code, you of course start by importing all the packages you may need, and then you add in all your argument inputs. So you'd input either an image or a video, your prototext model, your cafe model, and you can potentially take in a confidence value that the user desires. Then you run through the video once to understand how many frames are in that video and to initialize the shape and size of the video you're looking at. Once you understand that, you can get started on making a new video, and then you can start initializing and bringing in some of your packages such as the prototext and the cafe model. Then you go into the loop where you check each frame of the picture with the algorithm that I previously discussed, where you make the blob, you compare it with past models, and then you check over your confidence interval. If you have enough confidence, you can start using a bounding box to detect where the face exactly is. I also added in code that drew a hat on top of the user's head using my known coordinates that box the head. Further, I have my code that blurs the image exactly where the face is and replaces it on the original image. Here you will see me running the code in Anaconda. I start by saying what Python script I will be using, as well as the paths to the files I will be using, such as my prototext, my video, my cafe model. So you can see that now it's looking at it frame by frame after it understood how many total frames there were. I've sped this up, but it's around 700 frames that it's looking at, frame by frame, and then it's going to, as I said, overwrite the original frames if there is a if there is a face detected. Here we will see the video that I analyzed. So here is the first point in which I see faces, and I've paused it here to take note, and you can see that both the faces are blurred, and like I discussed, I added a hat on top because although they have to have anonymity, they can still have a personality. The way in which I identified where the boxes should be was by knowing the bounding volume of the head. And here you can see as it moves along, there's obviously no face in this section, so nothing's been detected. One of the interesting factors of this are the people with helmets, such as the stormtroopers, are not detected because they do not have regular facial features with those helmets. But then again, we have the people up close are detected again. And that has been a summary of my project. Thank you for listening.